I was trying just now to put some shorts up, and they don't go into shorts, they go into videos. I don't know how to do that. But one of them was it was another video of the Moloch thing I did, and some people have said like, oh, that's not real. It's like, I know it's not real. It's a reenactment or an actment, whatever you want to call it, of a actment of the of a Moloch sacrifice. And people said it like, oh, it's fake, it's not real. It's like, well, I don't know, that kind of makes it even worse in a way, because it's like, why are they reenacting this? Why are they doing this? It was at the Chicago World's Fair, and they put a lot of like effort into it. It's a lot of work, that thing, to build something like that. The thing is huge. Like, I mean, you can see it, it's giant. The whole thing is creepy. You want a cigarette? Yeah, I'll give you a cigarette. Cigarette? All right.
Yeah, man.
Cigarettes for everybody.
Oh, that's cool.
Hold on a second. I'll get them all. I can do it.
Be careful what you wish for.
You. Thank you for you. You need some too? I got you too. Oh. You're. Yeah, oh, you kind of like Frank Sinatra.
Burger?
I wish I had his money.
Man. Hey, where's your lighter?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem, man. How you guys doing? It's fucking windy out here.
I was freezing my ass off a minute ago. Yeah, but you made my night because I was craving a cigarette.
Dude, it drives me insane. I feel I'm gonna kill somebody if I run over at night like at 3 in the morning and everybody's close.
Spirit.
It's like, what do you do? What do you do? Have a nice good night, guys. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah, it's fucking weird. It's like, why would you reenact something that terrible out in the open so that people can see it on purpose? You know, whatever. I thought that was a better video than the one I had up, though. The first one's kind of cloudy, and this one's really clear, or as clear as I guess you could get for that time period. And now, it was a World's Fair, right? Chicago. All those buildings are probably not there anymore, because they said they were all, like, for the World's Fair, they said they made these buildings out of paper mache, or like, not paper mache, yeah, like paper mache, like corrugated fucking cardboard. It was something stupid. They said they made all these to come down. They were built out of cheap materials. Those things don't look like they were built out of cheap material at all. You know, they fucking look pretty sturdy to me. And after the World's Fairs, we just took them all down. And they say something stupid too, like it took them like 2 weeks to build them. That's not 2 weeks. You know, they just threw that up and tore it all day. Whatever, anyway, stupid. The other video is the CERN sacrifice thing, where the story behind that is there was someone in one of the buildings at CERN, and he got that little video of them doing another reenactment or actment, or actually could have been real, of a sacrifice. And I sat on that for a while. I had that for a couple of years, from when it first started hitting the internet. Shit, it might be like 5 years now. It's been kicking around a while. And I was always kind of worried about putting it up, just because of what it is. But then my buddy Dennis Sapara, he did a video on it. So I'm like, well, nothing's happened to him yet. And, you know, if he hasn't gotten banned over it, then I'm not going to get banned over it. You know, hoping, anyway. The ban is coming. I'm just trying to save it off. as long as possible. But yeah, I wanted to put them both up in shorts. Instead, you know, they went into regular videos. I don't know, whatever. I'm very OCD with the videos. I like to see like all the thumbnails in a row. I don't like having like, I don't know. I'll put a thumbnail on them, I guess. Like sometimes I just put the logo on it. But yeah, the CERN thing, that's another thing that's happening now at the during the eclipse. They said they had already turned it on like a week ago, and now they're just, that day, the 8th of April, is when they're going to start colliding particles, I guess, is what the situation is. And I saw the ladies from CERN talking about the video floating around online about it, and she was like, yeah, some people are saying it's, you know, she talked about like the conspiracy people think that, you know, they're doing it on purpose to be on the day of the eclipse. And she said, no, it's just a coincidence. So you can't say coincidence with, you know, people like us. You crazy? It's not a coincidence. But anyway, that's happening. Of course, along with the Devil Tail Comet, NASA is also going to be firing rockets into the eclipse for whatever reason. And a lot of states are doing the state of emergency thing now. They're telling people to have 2 weeks of supplies, make sure you have medicine, food. What are they fucking expecting to happen? If anything happens, it's going to be their thing that they'll make happening. Their thing to make happening. How's your fucking grandma? Get over here a minute. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Look at my arms. I got a drink here, cigarette here. Okay, I gotta pick one thing and go with it. But yeah, I'm still not shook about the fucking stupid eclipse. Whatever. You know, they say to be prepared for it, but like how? You don't know. What does that even mean? You know? I mean, the worst scenario, right, would be a grid down situation. People keep saying, or I keep seeing, things about it tying to the 3 days of darkness. But we've heard about that 3 days of darkness like every time we have one of these sort of doomsday dates that come up. It's like, you know, what are you going to do? If it goes down, it goes down. I don't know, like where I am, I don't know how it's going to affect me out here, you know, because I don't even know if we're tied to the grid. We must have our own kind of grid situation. I bet well, obviously, right? They don't run cable that far into the Pacific Ocean. We're like a little dot floating out here. The islands out here, the whole chain is just a little tiny dot in the middle of the Pacific. One would even wonder how the fuck they even found it in the first place. Well, it was never lost, this thing. And there's all kinds of different ideas about what this could be. You know, they found ruins underneath the islands a few years ago. Some divers found a road that runs under it. And was it part of what used to be Lemuria? Was it part of the Garden of Eden, or one of the possible Garden of Eden locations? I guess there's more than one location of what would be the biblical Garden of Eden. Maybe there's something at the North Pole. There's a few different spots where it could be, or where they have multiple Garden of Eden. It's not just one place, I guess, from what I understand. So I don't know. But it's like there's all this stuff happening on the same day. Again, I don't give a shit. I'm not worried about it at all. But, I mean, all you can do is really take care of what you can, of what's within your control. You know, make sure that people you know are okay. And, you know, have some food, I guess, together. I don't fucking know. I don't know. You know, it happens all the time. Every time they've had one of these sort of doomsday dates, and we've had quite a few over the past 10 years or whatever. Since I've been doing this channel, like, we've had 3. This is like the 3rd one. And I feel like I'm repeating what I've repeated like 3 times now, but the point is, I'm not shook about the fucking eclipse. It's just funny that every day something else is added on to it that's like happening. You know, it's like, oh, there's a comet. Oh, and we're firing rockets into it. Oh, and there's a state of emergency. It's like it's fucking, it's like a pile-on. Like, what else you want to add to this scenario? But yeah, oh, that CERN thing, right? Apparently that was a guy who was secretly filming that sacrifice thing. And the guy that shot it, I guess, like, no one knows who it was, and or he never came forward, or no one, or I mean, how'd they get that video? Did he send this to someone? I don't know the story behind that. If anyone does, drop it in the comments, let me know something, or at least somewhere where, you know, I can find out more about it. But yeah, it's a weird thing. It looks pretty serious. Like, it looks like that would be a lot to stage for just like a joke, for a video. You know, they seem all pretty dressed up, and you know, I hope that's not real. I mean, in the sense that no one got hurt or no one's actually being killed, but I don't know. You know how these people are. You know how they do this shit. And a lot of normies will laugh it out. Like, they'll laugh at the idea of magic, or, you know, satanic sacrifice and Moloch worship. These are the people with power that are doing this shit. Like, the very top of the pyramid guys. I mean, you might not believe in it, but they fucking believe in it, and they're using that stuff all the time. They're using magic on you every single day, in the form of, like, people control, mind control, like a sort of a low-level hypnotism is what they have going on with people. It's lesser magic, really. Anytime you involve anything like hypnotism or mind control or suggestion, it's always considered lesser magic. But they're using, like, lesser magic on an industrial scale. I mean, on the entire population. So it's kind of a big thing, you know. It's not a joke. But hopefully I won't have a problem putting those up. Nothing, you know, got a strike or anything like that. I've already gotten, what, 4 now? As long as I don't get them at the same time, I'm cool. Like, you can get a strike, but if you get another one within 30 days, and then another one, there's 3. You have to get 3 within 30 days, and then you take your channel down. So, I don't mind getting the strikes, other than the, you know, the week off, where I can't upload like a week. That kind of sucks, but, yeah, so as long as you don't get me 3 in one time, or 3 in a row within the 30-day period. But yeah, after 7 minutes of horror do it, I'm like, alright, well, I got this footage too. I'm just going to put it up there as it is. There's sound to it. I think you can just hear, like, ruffling, like, of the room with the guy's clothes, whatever he's doing, you know, and I don't think there's any sound, like, as far as people, there's no one's talking or anything. I think he makes some kind of noise toward the end. It sounds like someone walked in on him or something, because, like, he abruptly stopped recording. Just walking, you know, I don't have to fucking explain it to you. But yeah, she got Comet, CERN, NASA, state of emergencies. They're closing schools too. It's to make, I mean, it's ultimately, it's fear. They want to get people scared. They want people's all all their attention on something at once, they get a big loose hit that way. You know, they farm all that negative energy when they got a lot of people focused on one thing. That's why the 7-Eleven was an inside job, was such a boon for them. They got all those people that saw them that day, and all the you know, the fear and the horror and the sadness, and you know, all those people focused on that one thing, that one event. They were eating good that day. Ultimately though, it's the same thing. I found myself in the same place where it's like, who cares? What are you gonna do? Just wait it out. Wait it out. Take things as they come, and to see what happens. I have a couple of different things. Just seeing what happens that day, and then seeing what happens here. You know. One of my friends has like a military connection, or one of his military connections are like, as far as this place, he's like, it's depending on what the thing is. He said this place is either the best place to be or the worst place to be. So he said it depending on what the event or situation is, there's really no in between. You're either gonna be all set or you're gonna be fucked. I do know if there's some kind of breakdown in the supply chain, this place is fucked. Back in, I think it was 2018, we had some storms coming in. There's a hurricane that was supposed to touch down here. That's a whole weird story. I always say I'm going to get into that one day, but I really need to think about the timeline of events. But that was a real weird thing. We had a hurricane that was coming here, and just as it was about to touch down, it vanished. You know, like literally you're watching the dock come in. You know, it's 10 miles out, 5 miles out. It's like 2 miles out. You see the red dot the shore, you know, and then all of a sudden, boop, it's gone. I mean, they control that stuff anyway. You know, they've been able to control that stuff since, we know for sure, since the 1950s, but I would say even before that. You know, they had free energy, and so weather manipulation, if they knew how to get electricity from the fucking atmosphere, I'm sure controlling weather in the form of storms or whatever isn't that big a deal. It's not that hard a thing for them to do, you know? So, I don't know. Yeah. That was really weird. You had hurricane here. Days before it happened, you had FEMA guys with the full FEMA shirts on and shit, hanging out the mall back there over at that international marketplace place I go into with the tree house and shit. They had guys with like FEMA badges and just walking around, hanging around. And what happened, I'll talk about a little bit about it. I'd like to get all my thoughts together and before I do a whole thing on it, but it started raining, and when the shit started and they thought it was going to hit landfall, they were putting people in shelters, and I had a friend, another one was friend of a friend things, that got taken and put into one of these makeshift shelters out of school. And they were doing this with homeless people too, and they were telling people to go to these shelters. And the girl that was in there said there was they were in there like all night, and they couldn't get water, and they couldn't get food. Finally, she got kind of freaked out because they started showing up with buses, and they're like telling them to all get on the buses. And she's like, well, we're here at the shelter. Where are you taking us to a different shelter? And they're saying, yeah, we want to make more room here, so we're gonna bus people somewhere else. And this kind of freaked her out, and she split, which was something I would do too. Now at this time, not officially, but some people knew about it. They had a barge, one of those FEMA barges, with the that they were putting people on down. Was it Hurricane Harvey? They had one of those things set up, and then they later had one for the New York one. That New York hurricane that happened. A couple. What year was that? Was that Hurricane Sandy? Is that what it was? And they were taking people on there, homeless people. It's a barge, like a barge with, like, it looks like shipping crates on it, and those shipping crates are accommodations for people. They had one of those here, like 5 miles, or I think it was no, it was longer than 5 miles. It was just off the shore, down by where the docks are, in the downtown kind of Chinatown area. They had one over there in the water, and people were speculating that's where they're bringing some of these buses, putting people on these barges. It was a lot of confusion. There were, at the time that storm was coming in, there was eruptions going on Big Island, a volcano, and they're clearing people out of communities because there was like burning ash flowing around and stuff. So it was one of those cases where there was like 10 things happening at once. And in those sort of chaotic situations, they use that cover to do a bunch of other weird stuff. So this kind of feels like that. Definitely going to be a good day for them for psyops and shit. So should be interesting to watch anyway, to see how it all plays out. But yeah, people getting frantic online about it, and it's they're already feasting off people's loot. It's fucking crazy. That's what, like, I always say you can't beat the beast, but you can starve them, at least of your energy. You know, keep your vibrational energy high. Try to laugh. Try to well, always mock what they're doing. Devil hates that the most. But whatever it is, you know, don't fall into despair. Do not fear. Like Nia was saying the other day, how many times in the Bible Jesus says not to fear. It's like the thing he says most. So just heed those words. I'm sure there'll be some more developments before it happens in the next 4 days. And if so, I'll be sure to report on it as a spiritual war correspondent. Spiritual war correspondent. It's fucking mush now. Until next time, it's probably going to be soon. Still playing the teacher, playing the school.